in finance. When you're thinking about foreign exchange, there's always a risk that you can't quite measure because currency is dependent on so many different factors. Political issues come into play, trade volumes come into play. There are also financial reasons why people bring money through a country. For example, with Japan, there was the case after the subprime loan where countries would withdraw all their money that they had previously invested in Japan because they were worried about the investments they were making with the yen. So in that case, it really wasn't about the Japanese economy, but it was about the money that was being invested in by the yen. So in this way, we see that currency poses one of the most complicated risks. So in short, there are four main problems that confront us when we're dealing with finance. First, trust, and second, trade timing, third, wrong ratio, and fourth, the currency risk. Maybe I'll do one more kind of easier version. So when you're trying to summarize, first you can list the main topics, and then you talk about each topic in a little bit more detail. And then you end with summarizing what you've talked about. And the important thing is to think of that issue that you're dealing with when you're talking about it, and not be too bound by what you've already discussed. So you can bring in other examples as you think about it. So the key is that you're not just memorizing or remembering something that you've done in the past, but you're bringing in new information as you're talking about it. So for example, with the currency risk, you could talk about something that came up in the news recently. And that might not be something that you've thought about before, but it'll catch the audience's attention if it's a timely issue and everyone is concerned about it.でも本当にその説明する手順っていうのは簡単で、そのリスト、まずそのトピックのリストをやって、でそれぞれについて説明をして、できればその最新の情報に関係するようなものをそれぞれ持ってくることができると、例えばクレンシーの問題だったら最近の円高について話したりとか、その大きなコンセプトに最近の情報をくっつけてあげると一番聞きやすい説明になる。でそれぞれの一番試される例、一番そのクレンシーの問題になるような例を挙げて、もしくはそのリスクが複雑だった例とかをそれぞれ挙げて説明をすると、大きな考えと具体的な例っていうのがうまく結びつけば一番効果的な、説明ができる。でその時になんか浮かんだ例とかもどんどん話しちゃった方が聞きやすい。なんかあんまとらわれずに、即興的な感じで。ちょっとこれやりながら思ったのは、この long term、 これがちょっと違ってたかもしれない。これはちょっと違った。このレーシオの話はstocks versus bonds っていう話とか、あとは what countries っていう話とか、あとは例えば venture versus big corporations。大きく言えば、high risk, high return versus low risk, low return. This probably summarizes the whole thing.